but watch how there's just no movement off that left side. Right? I'm just around that post the whole time. If you look at that lead leg, it almost turns more into the target than it does ever off of it. Wedges, outsides of feet to the outsides of shoulders. That same simple hip bump that creates that. I'll move this on the way down, okay? I'm just gonna put this right here on the way back. You feel that? Wow, what a swing that was. Here, you're gonna see it up through the front of it right there. You can see how far past that was. You're starting back on that right side.
Still, okay.
Back there, and then having to move into it.
Jesus,
that slide into it kills rotation,
Okay.
right? But more importantly, it's a wedge. You know, if we're hitting a wedge,
Yeah.
you know, not only are we narrow at the stance, which takes away any of that movement, but also when we bump that hip, you're looking at a good 70% up on that lead foot. And here's what I tell people. Even if a little weight does move back because of the turn, it's a wedge. There should be no weight transfer.
Yeah.
Pop in front of me real quick with Kev. You guys get in front of me here. Watch my left hip here. You know, so watch. I'm narrower, bump the hip forward, but watch how there's just no movement off that left side. Right? I'm just around that post the whole time. And what's funny is, if you look at that lead leg, it almost turns more into the target than it does ever off of it. We always have to work on creating that posted lead leg, especially with a wedge. Now, a lot of our viewers have seen this. You've owned this drill with me, the lead leg drill. The reason why I love this, it really identifies where the majority of the weight needs to be throughout the swing. That's the no weight transfer back, no weight transfer through, just around the lead side. And you can see the bottom of the swing is really consistent when you get that. You know, like watch, if I line these balls up right here, you know, you're not gonna see, let's line it up right here on the back of this one. You're not gonna see the divot when I have this lead leg drill back here. You're gonna see it up through the front of it right there. You can see how far past that was. That's a great drill for the person who's hitting the chunked wedge, because it's keeping the top of your pendulum a little bit more centered, a little more over the golf ball. How you translate that in the swing, wedges, outsides of feet to the outsides of shoulders, that same simple hip bump that creates that post, and just feel like you maintain it throughout your swing. Right away for starters, narrower, a little bit more posted on the left side. Think about this. The little narrower makes the swing more V-shape. If I get wide, now it's more U-shape. So, just like a driver, when the ball's that much ahead of your top of your pendulum, being forward, and you're wider, there's two things that are happening there that help you hit up without having to try to hit up. Your setup's doing it for you. Now with a wedge, I'm thinking, well, how do I hit down past the ball without having to try to hit down past the ball?
Okay. I like
Narrower,
that. Yeah.
a little more weight. Stay centered.
Bang.
You got it. Yep, exactly. Big lesson there for everybody. Big lesson.
Yeah, I just got to get like where the feel is of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
setup.
that lead leg, right? You just find there's the narrow stance.
Okay.
There's the post. Hands can move forward with that. There you go, right there. Maintain that. Yeah, you see how the low point moves forward immediately, and the ball flight comes
And the
down?
ball doesn't go
Yeah.
to the sun.
Yeah, the ball doesn't go up to the sun. Doesn't burn up in the atmosphere.
It's like the first thing I'm like,
No,
oh,
but you know, here's the thing. This is a good lesson for Todd, and he's going to keep hitting here. But like, the better, if you're scooping balls up in the air and you're hitting it real high up in the air with wedges, like, see, those are 20 times better already. Hear that sound? What happens is you have a lofted club that you're adding loft to, right? So two things are happening there. Either the low point isn't good enough and you're behind it a little bit, or you're tossing the club through there and adding loft, which affects the low point as well, adding loft to it. Now, if you're hitting low, tight wedges with the divot in front, it shows you that, you know, not only are you on top of it, but the hands are in a much better position. I've been a big believer that over the years I watch my best players, my best ball strikers, they're great wedge players. They're constantly flighting wedges and hitting them real tight off the face. Well, you take that mindset to the rest of your bag and have that same technique with the bigger swing, and then there's your ball flight, there's your efficiency, right?
perfect.
There it was, best of the day. Best of the day.
Yeah, I almost got to feel like it.
What you,
Butt's
you know what's
turning
funny?
in.
What you just said right there, it literally is like, watch my left hip right here, because my right one's turning back into it, it almost goes towards the target, right? It's like there's never any movement back this way or back that way. It's just into it, right? Yeah. Now, Todd, one thing I'm going to show you that's important here, okay? This is important. Tendency for you. When you start hitting the bad ones, your hips forward are producing the spine angle that allows you to turn behind it without having to move off of it. You'll get that lateral push with your upper body that then forces you to have to then get back on top of it. I would tell you, feel like there's a knife at the right side of your head here and you're just turning more centered. Okay. So go ahead and set up again. You know, I'm gonna hold you real quick to the top of your swing, but just like, you know, like I'm holding you here. Feel that? Feel how much more that loads in here even?
Yeah.
That's the feeling right there. Okay?
That's wild.
Yeah, and that'll help you rotate through and not have to lunge back into it, okay? Try that for me. And I'll move this on the way down, okay? I'm just gonna put this right here on the way back. You feel that? Wow, what a swing that was.
Yeah, it's just getting comfortable.
It's just getting comfortable with it, right?
Yeah, but it's just so much more, like just drawing the bow tight, just tighter, stronger.
What he's saying, he's drawn the bow tight. He's talking about the bow and arrow analogy. He feels like when he does that, everything loads a lot more, coils a lot more. That's what gives you that necessary tension that you need. Much better low point, right? Much better low point. Now, here's something I want you to see. Hop in front of me. This is important because this is with all your clubs, and this is for our viewer also. This is a question I've had a lot, and I want to start answering questions in these videos for people that I see pop up. When you set up like this in a neutral position, and then you bump your hips, you're not leaving your hands back here. Your hips and your hands stay centered and move together. It's a very small motion, but that engages you and actually helps promote a better impact position. So when I get in there, you know, the hips and hands get going together. Now here I am. I feel like I'm on my left side the whole time. Okay? No weight transfer there. You know, it just feels like I'm just right on top of that golf ball and right on top of that ball through impact.
So that, I guess,
yeah.
that knee's like that, all right.
You see how much better that is? And guys, watch, when he did that, his hips stayed square. It's not like he like opened them up or closed them. He just went square. Just that's what you got to do right there. That's all it is. It's just get the right setup, which your components of that are narrower hip. The hands and the hip go together.
Yeah, the hands too.
And all you're doing, give me a nice, smooth control backswing. I mean, doesn't get much better than that, Todd. I mean, your best contact of the day by far. Even Kevin's back here just laughing at how good that was right there. Let's get the 8-iron out. Let's keep the same stuff going, okay?
All right, dog.
Good job, buddy. No, like one thing that we do, Todd and I do this a lot, and he, like I said, he's been a very successful golfer, shoots around par. We spend a lot of time on wedges. You know, here we are halfway through our session. We hit a ton of wedges because the loft on a wedge exposes the weaknesses, right? If you're moving around, if you're using your hands excessively, like it shows up. Your contact's not good. You got the sharpest leading edge in the bag, you know, with the wedges. And if you hit behind it, you're digging into it. You know, it requires very clean contact. And more importantly, here's the thing, even if you're making decent contact, but you're scooping it, the ball rides up the face and goes nowhere. So in order to really trap it, to get it to launch off the face the right way, efficiency has to be there. And that's more of this right here, staying centered, this look through impact right there. At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.